Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that subscribe button down below. We've hit that big 1,000, but we're trying to hit 2,000 now, so let's get straight into the video. So this is going to be a tactical preview of Leeds versus Aston Villa at Elland Road, and I'm going to show you the key differences between the game a few weeks ago where we drew 3-3 and this game, and how I think that we might be able to win this one. So first of all, we're going to have a look at how Villa set up, and it's a bit of a 4-1-2-1-2 really, with a few key differences which I'll go through now. So the first thing we need to look at is normal back four, and then you've got a holding midfielder and then two number 8s, pretty much box-to-box midfielders. And it's pretty much how Liverpool like to set up to this point. It's pretty normal. It's sort of a defensive 4-3-3 in terms of having a holding midfielder in as well. But it's when you get to these forward men that it really starts to make a difference. So what they like to do is they like to have Watkins in the middle here, and then they like to have two players running off them, which is basically Coutinho and Buendia. And what they like to do is they like to drop in deep to receive the ball. And when they've got the ball, they then like to make runs in like this and like this for the player to pass the ball to. And what that does is it drags a defender out and then creates a space in behind them to play in. So what happened in the previous game against Villa then? So let's put the Leeds lineup in now. So what would happen is pretty much Coutinho ran rings around us. So Coutinho would drop in here. So when Coutinho had the ball, that meant that Ayling went right with him because of the man marking system and left big gaps in behind because Llorente had to try and cover the striker. And that meant that Watkins could try and run in behind, Jacob Ramsey could try and run in behind, and it left us massively exposed for balls through those vacated spaces, which is how Jacob Ramsey scored one of his goals and how the space was created for the other goals as well. So this was a big problem for us in this game. Gerrard sort of thought, well, they're going completely man marking, so the best thing to do is drag the defenders out, create space in behind, and then play through those channels as direct as possible to get to goal. So it worked really well against us last time because we did concede 3 goals to it. So the key difference is this time then. This is what we're going to set up like against Aston Villa in that 4-2-2-2 formation. So the key difference is that we're zonal. So when somebody like Coutinho does get the ball and he brings it forward into this space here, do Ayling or Llorente follow him right in there? No, they don't. So they actually would hold their position, maybe squeeze a little bit because he's going backwards, but they wouldn't actually go and pressure the ball. That would then be the job of the number 7, which could be Forshaw. So once he's pressuring the ball, even if he does get done by Coutinho, which is a high chance because Coutinho is a very technically gifted player, we still have the cover of the number 6 in here to mark the number 11, Watkins, and number 8, that being Jack Harrison, for example, can then actually follow the run. If he decides to make it, the run of Jacob Ramsey can actually be followed directly by Jack Harrison so that we're covered in all situations. So this is the main way I think we're going to stop them, is the fact that we've gone zonal now, is that a player like Ramsey making marauding runs, he's not left unmarked. He's actually gone with by our wide attacking midfielder, whilst the holding midfielder marks the striker and the two centre-back and left-back occupy the other attacking midfielder for them. So I think we're covered in all cases here. Obviously, individual errors can make this fall to pieces, but that's the case for any formation and any tactics. It was against Leicester, it was an individual error that cost us. We defended really well all over the park for the whole afternoon. It's just that an individual error from Dallas caused them to score a goal. So, like I said in that video though, last time out, he's only had 4 days to get into these players. So hopefully with an extra 4 days, we can cut out another individual mistake and get a clean sheet against them. I'm hoping that this formation and this tactic works in this case. And I think it will because, like I say, we're covered in all situations here. Coutinho drops deep. We've then got Forshaw marking the number 11, Watkins. You're occupying the centre-back and left-back with the other attacking midfielder. And then any marauding runs can be tracked by these two wide players. And it covers us in all circumstances, I think. So how then are we going to get at Villa? Well, it's the same against any team now. We press high up the field. Let's use the same example as we used last time where they've got the ball here. You're basically going to go and press in between there, and in between there, so you can go either way there. And we're basically cutting off the passing lanes from somebody like Mings, who definitely has a mistake in him. We can cut off his passing lanes and force him to make a mistake. The other thing is, even if they do decide to go long and try and hit these players, we've got enough cover in here now with an extra holding midfielder to step across, get that ball, and then what they would do is they would then play forward as direct as possible and try and get in on goal. So that's the plan, really. I think we squeeze high up. If they make a mistake, we nick the ball and we go to goal as direct as possible. But if they hit it over the top of us, we've got cover enough to go side to side, and we've got enough zonal cover to slide across, get the ball and attack again. And I think it could be a very effective way of counter-attacking them, especially if we win the ball in these areas where Coutinho or Buendia will be dropping deep and trying to get the ball. So I think they can be got at, especially because last time out we saw how fast Dan James was at getting in behind Tyrone Mings, and he had real success doing it as well. So I think Dan James playing off the shoulder in here could be a really effective way at getting at Aston Villa here. Especially because when you do win the ball in those high positions, he's so fast, and they'll be so unbalanced that they've just lost the ball. He's so fast that he can actually be in behind them before they've even had a chance to think about what they're doing. So we win the ball high up here, and you're already going into him like that to try and score a goal. So I think we can get at Villa in this game, and I really think that we can actually win. With a home crowd on our side as well, I think the tactics go for us, and I also think that the crowd will really get up for the players this time, and we'll win this game, get 3 points on the board and take that confidence into Norwich. I'll see you after the game for a match day vlog, and we'll maybe talk about in the car on the way home whether my thoughts were correct in this, and I really hope they are. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next time on Leeds Lately.